Have you ever heard of the statement, spend money to make money? Well, here is how you can avoid burning all of your hard-earned cash trying to get rich.
That's right. Today we're going to talk about our personal, mistake, how we overcame, and what we're doing now to salvage the situation. So if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, ring the bell to get notified, and share with your friends. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
Let's talk about the kinds of anxiety and pressure that comes with spending money to make money.
We had a lot of experts come on our podcast talking about how you can create wealth in your business, right? And it was always how you create traffic, right? Like, how do you get more eyes on your product or more eyes on you, or get people invested in you, your community, your product, whatever. We decided we wanted to skip ahead, right? Like, we were like, let's put out a product and drive a bunch of ads to it and make money quick. And we burned through a lot of cash, like really fast, like in 2 weeks time, and made zero money. Like, how many of you have done that where you're like, I'm just going to drive ads to this product that I created and people will buy, right? Like, put it up and they will come, right? And they didn't come.
I have to say, like, now looking at it, I never had clarity in terms of what the right direction was for us to move forward. And I'm all about like testing, failing, learning, growing, and repeating and doing it all over again. But there comes a point where you're just spending so much of your hard-earned money, and not to say like we're making money from elsewhere, but when you in like a matter of 2 weeks blow money that you've made in the past 6 months to 8 months, like, that's tragic when you're not making money back from it. And now what I'm very clear about, having been in this course creation digital products journey for less than a year, for about 10 to 11 months, I would say, like solidly, like learning, we really didn't have someone tell us like point blank where you need to start, like foundation wise, is figure out like your purpose, like really figure out your purpose and know your what and your how. So like, what in the world is it that you are selling, and like how are you going to sell that, and like really understand that.
Yeah. And since you mention it, if you're listening to this and you're not clear on your purpose, you're not clear on your what and how, make sure to check out our episode on how to find your purpose in creating your digital product, and we'll make sure to link it and drop it in the comments. But going back to the conversation, I think that we were finally able to pinpoint where we went wrong in our journey. And I think this is all about lessons. This is all about learning from your mistakes. And how our parents used to say to us, I hope that you learn from my mistakes and don't repeat them. Well, if you're listening to this, we hope you learn from our mistakes and don't repeat them. Our biggest mistake was, and how many times have you heard this? And then how many times did you do it, right? That's the question, is jumping right in and creating a product. But I'm going to tell you that the mistake wasn't creating a product without an audience. That was not the mistake. The mistake was not creating a product without validating. That wasn't the mistake either. The mistake was, creating a product without having a picture of your overall value ladder, like without understanding how you were going to ascend your customer through your value ladder. And the reason why the value ladder is so important is because when we actually create a value ladder for our business, and Yasmin can go more into this, it's such a great overall picture in our business plan, in a direction of where we're going. It's not only a direction for our customers and how they get to work with us and how we can serve them, but it's also a picture of where you're going in your business.
Definitely. A value ladder is basically a customer journey, but you said it really beautifully in that it's an ascending it's an ascending staircase, so to speak. And this staircase leads you from one phase to another phase to another phase to another phase. And there's also different hallways that are connected to these stairs, which are technically your sales funnels. Now, without getting too deep and too nitty gritty into things, because I want to keep things as simple as possible so that you can really visualize it. But this is actually a lot of the learnings and findings that we are also gathering from Russell Brunson, who has so much wealth of wisdom to share, and he's like the guru.
And a phenomenal teacher, by the way.
But he really resonated with us, and he walks through the value ladder and what that looks like, and it actually makes perfect sense, because when we talk about our what and how, we think about what it is that we have to offer the world, what our market, our people need and want, and essentially create our core offer, okay? And that core offer sits in the middle of your value ladder. So then what you have at the beginning of your value ladder is kind of like the gateway. It's where you have
it's
like
how you bring people in,
or how you generate your lead gen, how you generate emails and all that good stuff that lead to the core offer. And then there's also your back end, and your back end is actually your ultimate like higher ticket price item and what you're ultimately trying to ascend your customers to, right? So it all starts from that foundation, the core, your core, but you really need to work backwards in order to have a successful product launch and just a successful journey in this digital product world, so to speak.
Yeah. So going back to our mistake is we didn't have a value ladder. Not only did we not have a value ladder, but we only had that, first stage where we thought you got to start at the bottom, right? Like everybody's got to pay their dues. You got to start at the bottom. So freebie, low ticket item, like get the people in, get them to spend time with you, get them to like want to work with you, and then you ascend them into your next offer. But what we didn't realize is, we didn't have anything to ascend anybody to. Like there was just the freebie and the low ticket item, and then there's nothing afterwards, right? So going back to the value ladder now, like Yasmin said, work your way backwards. So you want to work your way at the top. So the top is like, what's the ultimate transformation that you can offer people? Like if you said to somebody, pay me $1 million and I will do X for you, right? And X can be anything. It can be, I will show you how to lose, 200 pounds, or I will show you how to make money while you sleep, or I will, I'll do that for you step by step. I'll be right there holding your hand. It's the ultimate offer. It's the ultimate transformation, and it's like guaranteed, right? And then work your way down from that, like the core offer, right? And then everything underneath that is you just like catching leads, you capturing leads, you getting people in. So our mistake was we started at the bottom. We didn't start with creating an ascension ladder. We didn't understand the bigger picture. We didn't start by like honing our sales skills by trying to sell that core offer. And we ended up blowing a ton of money trying to get leads into our business. And we have like successfully a ton of leads, but these leads are not spending money, right? So that's, where we don't want you to go down the same road, right? Create your value ladder. Start at the very top, work your way back, and then focus on getting people to invest in your core product.
Let's talk about price points here, because that core product could be as little as $27, $37, like $47. It could be in that range. But that's where you start from. And then you think about, okay, how am I going to get people to see this, to invest in this, and then from there, how am I going to send them to the next step? And that is that ascend, that's that, you know, rise onto like the next step into the next step, like that can change over time. Because the more seasoned you are, once you have people, once you open the gateway and you get people flooded into your core offer and whatever that is, that's when you can start getting creative and think about alternative ways of, you know, getting people in on the front end. And then that also, you have aha moments where you're like, okay, naturally, because of the feedback I've received, because of the transformation that I'm creating, it just makes sense that my back end offer is going to look like X, Y, and Z. Like, I would love to maybe paint a picture of an example.
Yeah, so a back end offer is usually something like, you know, a mastermind or a community where you like an exclusive community that you get to have accountability in and share like a wealth of secrets and experiences and have, you know, the guru guiding you. You get one-on-one time with them, right? Like that's like I said, like the back end experience, the final offer, the ascension in the ladder is like if you could hand hold somebody into providing them with whatever transformation, right? Like, let me show you how to make $1 million. Let me show you how to lose weight, but I will do it. I will show you. Like, would you pay me that money if I showed you how to do that, right? I think that a great place to start with a value ladder, because that's the thing about value ladders is that there are ways to do it wrong. And it's like, you'll start by creating your value ladder and it just keeps going up and up and up and up and like it would never end. While that might be good, kudos to you for being creative and being able to put a bunch of offers on paper. Start with 3. Like just start with like beginning, middle, end. Just 3. So starting point, core, the middle, and then end. Mm-hmm. If you start there, you can paint a much clearer picture to yourself on the ascension of what your client is going in and where to start, right? Like we know now it's not the beginning step of the value ladder that you start because you actually have no offer there. Like that's not the place you create transformation. You create transformation in the core offer. So now you know where to start. And then once you start having more transformations happen, you can go back to the first step of the value ladder and bring more traffic in, bring more leads, bring more people. So that's our recommendation. Start with 3 steps.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to how this conversation started about spending money to make money, be grounded in making sure that you don't go bankrupt like doing this kind of thing. Like there's definitely a solution. There's definitely this can work if you do it properly, but just have a proper foundation before you start creating a product out of nowhere and start spending a bunch of ads and you find yourself in a hole with tons of money spent. Again, it's all learnings. Money comes and goes is how I like to look at things, but still just do your due diligence, research, and work with the right people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like we can't avoid not spending money to make money. You know, that's going to happen. I guess what we're trying to say is like don't create a product and then drive ads to it without having a value ladder, without like understanding the foundation of your business, without having like that ascension, without, you know, doing the groundwork and getting clarity, right, on like what you are like offering and who you're offering it to, you know? So it's like do that first before you spend any money and then invest.
All right, I think we covered a lot of great pointers. If you are in a stage where you are figuring out your what and your how, be sure to download our launch guide. You can find it on www.CourseCreation.com/launch guide. It's a really useful tool and it's free, so be sure to download it. And of course, if you like this video, make sure that you like it, that you share it, that you hit subscribe, and also that bell so that you can get notified every time we have a new video up.
Okay, we'll see you next time.